Hello, friends. My name is Zayna, and you are now listening to the Swinging Thoughts podcast. Now, I do want to make sure that you all follow me on Instagram at LovelyZay with two Y's. And subscribe, like, and follow to my YouTube channel. Make sure you comment. Do whatever the hell you need to do to make me famous. Okay? I need the word to get out. I need people to hear me. Okay? So, in this 20-minute and some change podcast, this will be all about decentering. So, decentering men, decentering romantic relationships. I'm going to go into depth and tell you exactly what that means, how you should do it, and why. I would grab a drink, grab a blunt, lock the kids in the closet. Not in the closet, sorry, but lock them somewhere and give them a tablet. And hear me out and enjoy the rest of the podcast because it is going to be fun and you are in for a treat. And I'm going to make sure I am going to give you the most raw, genuine version of me, what I've been through, and how I've been able to overcome it and how I'm still trying to overcome things. Like, still to this day, I do not have all the answers, but I do have some. And I do think that some of these answers are going to help y'all. So, stay tuned, relax, and enjoy the show. Okay, so first, what is decentering and what it means? The dictionary version of decentering in a relationship is prioritizing one's own needs, desires, and well being alongside those of their partner, shifting the focus from solely centering the partner to a more balanced approach where both individuals are valued. So that is the dictionary definition. What all in all does that mean? That means that your partner is no longer going to be the center of your universe. You will be the center of your universe. Okay. And with doing that, it does increase self worth, better communication, healthier relationships, and you're able to pursue more of your goals and your hobbies. When we center our partner or have them be the center of our universe, what we're doing is we're putting a lot of our own goals, own desires, own aspirations to the side. And it may not seem like that when you're doing it because you're like, no, I still have my own goals and things like that. But I'm going to go ahead and give you an example. You're in school, you should be studying, but your partner's all like, hey, babe, want to do it? And then you're like, yeah, sure. Now, of course you want to, but if you didn't have a partner, you wouldn't be up for hours having sex. What you would be doing is studying for that test that you know you need to pass so you can go ahead and be whatever you want to be. You would be focused. It would be as if that person wasn't even there, you know? Another example, let's say you want to eat some sushi. Hey, babe, let's go for a date. What do you want to eat? You want sushi, but you know damn well that man do not want no sushi, and you know he not gonna pick sushi, so he probably gonna pick something like chicken wings. Now you got to settle for damn chicken wings, knowing you don't want chicken wings. All of little things like that that you think, it's not really a big deal. It it in terms is a big deal because what you're doing is suppressing every single time. You're suppressing what you want. You're suppressing your wants, your desires for another person. And what that in the long run does is make you feel like, dang, I never really just am getting what I really want. I'm never just getting, to be completely myself. And the reason why is because you're not being true to yourself. You are actually being the problem because you are letting a person dictate what you should eat, how you should study, when you should study. And just because you're in a relationship with a person, it does not mean that you are supposed to forget about what your wants and desires are. When you're in a relationship with a person, that person is supposed to be there for love, companionship, and keyword support. They are supposed to be supporting you. So if you are going to school, that person should go into a whole nother room while you're doing your schoolwork. They should not be bothering you. They should not be watching a movie in front of your face. They should be making sure that they support you by giving you the space that you need so you can do whatever you want to do. Another thing that that person should be doing, if they really know you and they know you like sushi, what they should do is be like, babe, I know that I always get chicken wings, and I know, you like sushi. Is there a place that has both? That way you can get what you want and they can get what they want. The problem is, and that's called compromising, and we'll get into that later. But the problem is, men really don't think like that. And the reason why they don't think like that is because it is a man's world. See what I mean? But okay, let's just continue. We're programmed to serve, defend, and protect the man. That is how we're programmed. If you don't believe it, look at any show, any song, anything you hear. It's always about, serving, protecting, defending, and taking care of the man. And a lot of times over yourself. And we'll get into that a little later too. Okay, so in layman's terms, what is decentering? All decentering really, and how it starts, how you can actually start it, a little baby step, is not trying to always focus on dating and finding a man, but focus on your own happiness. You know, do not always speak about men or romantic relationships when you're speaking with your friends. A lot of centering men and centering romantic relationships is bad mouthing men on the phone all day with your friends, bad mouthing men talking about how these men ain't shit, and these men suck, they all cheaters, they all liars, they all this, which in a sense most are, especially in this dating pool. We don't have a great dating pool, so I'm not going to sit here and say like, it ain't worth talking about, but it isn't worth obsessing over. It isn't worth every single conversation you have with your friends. It isn't worth shifting your focus to only that. No more watching shows on how to be a better woman for a man. If you think about it, a lot of shows that we watch, Girlfriends, Grey's Anatomy, never watched it, but that I know that is one. Love and Hip Hop, that's a good one. Movies that you watch, love movies, and not saying that it's not good to watch it, but what are you watching it for? Is it just because it's entertaining, or is there an intention behind that? We don't understand that a lot of times what we speak is how we're programming our mind. So if you're speaking constantly about men to your friends, one, you may not have a lot of friends, because I know me personally, I don't want to sit on the phone and talk about men all day. That's just something that can irritate me very quickly, because why are we sitting here talking about them? Let's talk about getting some money. Let's talk about, going on trips. Let me hear what interests you. What do you actually like? What do you want to do with your life? What are you doing today? How are you feeling today? How is your mental? That is really what I like to talk to my friends about. I do not like to sit on the phone and talk about men or relationships the whole time. Now, granted, you may need to vent to someone, and that's okay. I'm a friend. A lot of times people love venting to me. They say I give good advice. Do I follow my advice? No. But I do give great advice. It's just something that I do. However, that even takes a toll on me, and it honestly takes a toll on you too. Because what you are now doing is basically letting your friend know, and indirectly letting yourself know you ain't got shit else to talk about besides men. Nothing. There is nothing important going on in your life than to sit here and yap about men and what they're doing and what they're not doing. Okay, I look at stuff like that. So that is one of the ways that you can decenter a romantic relationship or a man. Stop talking about them. Do not speak about them. If you met a good man, hey, I met a man, I'm just trying to see where it goes. In the conversation, don't go on and on about it, because now you are centering them. You are making them the center of your universe indirectly, and you don't even know it. Reading books. I know y'all like to read books and y'all like to read audiobooks. There's a lot of audiobooks about decentering, but there's also a lot of audiobooks about how to be good for a man and what does a man need and what you should do for a man and men like this and men like that. And that also plays a part in centering a romantic relationship. Okay. Do y'all notice something? And this kind of goes about how men work because they're really funny. But I know my boyfriend and even my dad, honestly, a lot of men. Do y'all notice that when they go out with their friends, what they talk about? Absolutely nothing. They talk about sports. They talk about getting money, hopefully. They talk about everything else besides women. And I know some of y'all are like, well, some men talk about women. Okay, we're not talking about them. Majority of men don't give a fuck about talking about women. They just don't care. And if they do, it's all like, yeah, you see that girl, she got a fat ass over there, I'd hit. And that's probably as far as it goes. A lot of times they're talking about a whole bunch of BS that is not about us, you know? And if you don't believe me, how many times has your man told you, ooh, I got some gossip, or they trying to tell you a story, and you like, hey, oh, okay, and they like, so babe, look, why, so and so, did blah 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 with so and so, and you all like, oh, okay, and then so what happened? Oh, I don't know. Well, who's the girl? Oh, I don't know. We didn't get into that. Okay, so did she find out? I don't know. What you mean you don't know? What do you mean you do not know? They don't know because they don't ask questions. They hear something and they move the hell on. They don't stay on a topic of women for long. They're not like us where they're trying to get every single little detail. They just don't. They can literally make a friend and not even know their name. They don't know their name, what they do for a living. Hell, they damn sure don't even know where they're from. They don't operate like us because they don't center their conversations around women. They don't center a lot around women. They move on their own accord. They talk about what they want to talk about and they keep it moving. Women, we're very different in that sense. And of course, we're very the opposite. We need to know the details, name, places, things, okay? I just like a noun. Who, what, when, why, where. That's what we need to know. So that is one way that we can decenter. Stop talking about them so much. Watch what you're listening to. Watch what you're reading. Watch the music you're listening to, and watch the shows that you're watching. All of that plays a part in programming yourself to decenter.
My new lady says she leaving me. I'll fuck around, yeah. Plus I got another over there. She been wanting to be with me. Got her in her underwear. Gave her what she want, now she need me. I got more up there coming up.
Person in the relationship is you start looking for validation. I remember I was in a relationship with this dude, and he never gave me compliments. And I'm a good looking person, okay? He never gave me compliments. Like, he would never say, "Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you look nice. Oh, I love that on you." Never. Like, it was so weird. He also wasn't affectionate, but outside of that, he never gave me any type of compliments. And you know what I noticed in that relationship? I changed up my hair maybe I don't know how many times. I did multiple hairstyles. I bought more clothes than I normally did. I would put makeup on, and and wore like wigs and stuff like that. I did it so much to the point to where his family, like when I got locks, they were like, "Why did you get locks? Like you always, would wear your hair this. Like I'm surprised you got locks." They really don't even know that I'm not even the type of person who switch my hair up like that. People who went to high school with me and people who really know me, I before I got locks, I wore a bun every single day. I'm a very, when it comes to my hair, basic person. I don't like to do a lot with my hair. I'm not a good hair person or anything like that. But I noticed that in that relationship, because I didn't receive any compliments or any validation from that person, I was trying to get it. I was trying to make myself into something I'm not, just to hear a little bit of something, just to hear anything. And I think maybe within we were very on and off. So I'm going to give him 2 years. Within the 2 years of dating this person, he may have told me like I was pretty a couple of times. A couple. Like, I mean, two. When I say a couple, I mean two. I remember one specific time he said, "Whoa, you look very beautiful." And the second time he said, "That's nice on you." And I remember being shocked, like, oh my God, he said it. And it's just a little thing like that, is to where we look for a validation in our partner, in our man. We want to hear, "Oh, you look good. Oh, oh, I like that on you, blah, blah, blah." Think about all the movies that you watch. "Babe, do I look fat? Babe, do you like my hair? Oh, babe, do you like my nails?" I'm good with that. Like when I used to get my nails done before it cost like an arm and a leg, I would always send pictures to whoever I was dating of my nails, have them pick out the color. I'll be like, "You want to pick out the color of my nails? What color should I get?" Just because I want you to like them. And we don't even notice little things like that that we do because we're wanting that validation. We're wanting our man to be like, "Yeah, that's, you look good." And don't get me wrong. Let me stop real quick. Of course, and everybody wants their man to feel attracted to them. That's I'm not saying that you shouldn't want that. What I'm saying is we shouldn't be seeking it. Because the more you seek it, the more you try to do more to constantly get it. And then when you stop getting it, when you don't get it as much, you start feeling like, "Oh my gosh, something's wrong. They don't like me as much. Maybe, they're cheating, they're doing this." Validation has to come from yourself. Now, when I'm not looking good, when I got a sweatshirt on and my hair is messed up, I don't care. I don't care what my partner thinks. I know sometimes I be looking crazy. I don't care though, because I'm good. And when I dress up and I look nice, I don't care if he tells me you look good or you don't. Because guess what? I already know. Now, the partner I'm with right now, he literally thinks I look good in everything. He'll be like, "Oh, I love this, I love that." But I still find myself, "Hey, you like this? Hey, you like that?" And I had to stop doing that because it don't matter what he likes and what he don't like, as long as I like it. If I like what I'm wearing and I'm comfortable with what I'm wearing, that's all that matters. Okay, so let's talk about how to decenter. We've already talked about how, we're not going to be speaking about, our romantic relationships and men to our friends. That is one way. Another thing that you can stop doing: do not ask permission to hang out with your friends. Do not ask permission for alone time or to go on trips. That is a big no. Why are you asking someone for permission to do something that makes you happy, that you want to do? As long as it's, if your intentions are good and you're not out there thoughting around, and you're not out there trying to seek validation from other men, if you know your intentions are pure, you don't need to ask for no permission. You don't even need to ask permission if your intentions ain't pure. Okay, you're just dating somebody. You're not even married to them. You're single. You're just talking to someone. You're not even really with them. Why are you asking them for permission? That is also, and another thing too, and I'm gonna go to another example, but that reminded me something. It causes men to start being controlling. When you're asking for permission, it's like a kid. You're asking, and then you're gonna feel, the man is gonna feel at that time like they have the authority to tell you no or yes. Do not give them that authority. No one has authority over you. You have authority of yourself. You don't need to ask a goddamn thing. Okay? Do what you want to do, what makes you happy. Move exactly like how they move. Because remember, when they friends call them and say, hey, bro, let's go out tonight, they do not ask for permission. So we are not asking for permission. And again, we're not going to go tit for tat, but we are going to move how they move. And so we can have that sense of self-worth and we can have that sense of balance. Okay. Another thing, stop including him in everything that you do. Everything that you do with your friends, you do not have to bring your man. Ugh. I know some women like that, and it's so disgusting. Your man does not need to go everywhere we invite you to, girl. Come by yourself. Come by yourself. You do not have to involve this person into your, they're already a part of your life. Okay, you're in a relationship. They're a part of your everyday life. And even if you're dating and just talking to somebody, same thing. They're a part of your everything, everyday life. You don't need to involve them into every aspect of your life. Okay? Stop doing that. It's annoying. It annoys me. It actually makes me really mad because, like, we literally said this was a girl's thing and now your man is here. That's gross. Or, ooh, this one I don't like too. We all chilling as women, and here you are on the phone talking to your man, checking in with him, texting him, sharing locations. Ew. We talk about you because it doesn't look good. It does not look good. It looks like someone is controlling you. Okay? And for a lot of you women who, a man can't control me, a man can't tell me what to do. Psh, not from what I've seen. Seems like men are telling y'all what to do a lot. Seems like they're controlling you a lot. Seems like they're dictating your life a lot. Stop doing that. It's like that really makes me mad. Okay, second thing. Stop asking for validation. Again, do I look fat? Do I look good? Do you like my nails? Who cares if they like it? It shouldn't matter what they like. Yes, again, it's good to get the compliment, but at the end of the day, if you like your nails and you like your hair and you like something, they have to conform with that. You should not have to change yourself for anybody. You should not have to fit the image of what you think your man would like. That is not decentering, okay? Please don't do that either. Cooking for him. So this is very hard for me because I cook a lot. I cook for myself and I live with my partner, so it is very hard to just cook for myself and not cook for him. And I'm not gonna say do that because I don't do that. If I'm gonna cook food, it's two of us in the house. Why would I not cook for you? Of course, cook for them. But another way of decentering it, you don't have to make that plate. Okay? Or you can make the plate, but make your plate first. I have a very, very bad habit with feeding my partner first, making his plate first, and then making mine second. And I don't know why I do that. I started thinking like maybe when I was younger, I always seen my mom, she would feed my dad first, and I would always bring the plates to my dad. And I think I kind of just got into that role in that routine. But that is a part of decentering. You want to cook, great. Of course, don't not cook for him. Y'all both live in the house. But you don't got to make his plate first. You can make your own plate and be like, hey, babe, I cooked, your food is on the stove. Hey, babe, I cooked and your food is in the microwave. Make him get up and get his own plate. Like stuff like that. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to always do a traditional way. And a little thing like that is decentering. A little thing like that. Or hell, make his ass get up and cook. You don't gotta cook all the time. Have him make you a meal. Unless he don't cook good, because my partner he don't really cook that good, so he's not to make me anything. But if he did cook good, I would be having him in the kitchen a little bit more. Now, when doing these things, we're gonna talk about what you may encounter because here's the thing: when you start decentering, it can look very abrupt and it can give a person the wrong idea. But if you do explain it right and explain why you're doing it and explain, basically everything I just said, someone who really loves you and really supports you should understand that. But there are some good and bad reactions that you may get. Okay? One example is I decided right now I am literally in a hotel and I am recording this podcast. Okay. I'm recording this episode. I did tell my partner, I was like, hey, I need some time to myself. It's not you, it's me. That's a very good one. And really, I just need to be by myself in a space where I can be creative. And it's not that, he doesn't make me be creative, but sometimes it's the energy. Sometimes he may be going through his own thing or feeling his own way. And I'm a type of person, I'm a feeler. I feel everything. So even though I'm in another room, I can still feel his energy and it throws me off, you know? So I was like, hey, I need time to myself. I'm going to be at a hotel. I'm going to be recording my podcast. I didn't ask him, I told him. And then I let him know, this is why I'm doing it because it is very abrupt. It's not in my norm. It's not something I normally do. So I'm being courteous and letting him know because you do want to be courteous. Be courteous and let him know, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And this is why I'm going to do it. Notice I didn't ask. I didn't explain too much. I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm going to do it. Now, his reaction, surprisingly, because I was really surprised because, again, this is something I don't normally do. He was like, for sure, go for it. That is the type of reaction that you do want, but you might not always get. Now, another reaction that most men may give you, and I'm not going to lie, is jealousy. They may be jealous. And when I say jealous, jealous in a sense that you are focusing on yourself and they know that that might not be something that they're ever able to do. You know, um, they're upset that they can't decenter. Some men do center a woman around their relationship, and that's why I said everybody is not going to have um, this same issue. But maybe that person has made you the center of their existence, and they feel kind of jealous that you're able to be by yourself and be on your lonesome and do things on your own, and they know that they can't do that. They know they're the type of person who need people around them. They need to be around their friends. They need to be around other people to honestly distract them, to help them not focus. um so you may run into that part of it. If you do, these are signs to look out for. Not saying you should break up with them, but just know that this is something that you may encounter. Secondly, you may encounter accusations. Now, my partner, he did say this like jokingly, like, oh, you gonna be with that man at the hotel. Was he jokingly playing serious? Could be. But did I care? No, because I know I'm not doing nothing wrong. So whether he thinks that or not, that's really up to him. It has nothing to do with me. But accusations, you'll probably may get accused of cheating. Why you want to be in a hotel? Why you want to do this? Why you want to go on a trip by yourself? Why you da 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 da? Remember that all of that is a them problem. That has nothing to do with you, okay? We are not about to sit here and overly prove why we need time to ourselves. We're not going to sit here and overly prove why this is something that is going to make us happy. We are going to say what we're going to do. And then whether they accuse you of cheating or not, you're going to move on and do exactly what you wanted to do. And then honestly, watch how they act after that. This is a really good thing to let someone know if they really love you. Watch how they act. If you start decentering and they start accusing you of cheating, now start watching how they act, because this is also how you're going to know if this person is really for you and for your happiness, or are they really for themselves and for control. Another thing that you may encounter is manipulation. And manipulation can look in a whole bunch of ways. So, one way can be very sad. You know, they start being very sad, like, oh, is it me? Do you not want to be around me? Is there something I'm going to do? Something I can do? Trying to make you feel bad about having time for yourself, you know? And with that, you let them know, no, it has nothing to do with you. That is the whole thing. This has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Please do not let manipulation stop you from taking time for yourself and caring for yourself, because that is the number one thing that probably can happen. And with some relationships will happen. If you already got a manipulative partner, for sure this is going to happen. Another way to manipulate you is being angry, very passive aggressive. Now all of a sudden they don't want to talk, after you told them that. They're like, "Oh, okay, cool." But then they got an attitude for the rest of the day. They start acting funny for the rest of the day. Another way to manipulate you. So you can be like, "Well, what's wrong? Is it because I went out? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just not going to go anymore." It's another manipulative tactic. So don't fall for that either, because that again is a way to control you, and a way to keep you um keep them as the center of your universe. So don't do that. Gaslighting. You may experience gaslighting. That's more of I'm sorry I crowd you so much that you need space. Again, remind, this has nothing to do with you. And honestly, ignore these reactions. Watch them, but ignore them, because all of this is the way that a person is realizing that you are now going to focus on yourself and time to yourself, and they do not like it. And this can be for a number of reasons, but we're not even going to get into that. And then the last thing that you may encounter is retaliation. Now that you're focusing yourself, guess what? They're going to try to go out. They're going to try to make you feel away for going out. Um, they're going to try to, I guess, decenter you even more. And all of that is, obviously for the wrong reasons. Their intentions is not in the right place. They're not trying to really just decenter you. They're just trying to do something because you're doing it. It's almost like a tit for tat thing. And that is also, again, something that you should watch out for, but it can happen. All of these things that you may encounter are zero reasons to not do what you want to do. All it does is actually bring out the beautiful or ugly in the relationship. When you start decentering, you're going to realize, is this person really for my happiness? Is this person really for what I want? Or is this person only for what they want? All right, friends, we have made it to the almost the end of the podcast. I just want to thank you so much for listening to me, and take this time to go ahead and grab you a drink, grab you a blunt, check on your kids if you have them put up, and let's get into the ending of this. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me on Instagram, Lovely Zay with 2 Y's. Thank you again so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Apparently we're better off as friends. Sincerity in my diamond tone. Sincerity in my tone. Sincerity in my diamond tone. Like, who are you to dim on my shine? Like, who am I trying to dim on my shine? So another example I want to give too about decentering and about how men operate really is, for an example, my partner. My partner wants to work offshore. He wants to work offshore. And when you're working offshore, if you don't know, you're gone for a lot of time out of the year. Sometimes it's like 6 months offshore, which means you're on the water a lot of times in a whole nother country. And then 6 months you're home. It can look a different way, 4 months there, 2 weeks back. There's a lot of different schedules, but basically you're gone most of the time. And when he first told me he wanted to go offshore, I was being selfish. I don't even think he knows this. Well, actually, he does, because I told him, I said, "Dang, you just want to be away from me." You know, a background thing of me and my partner, we've been best friends for about 15 years before we started dating. And a lot of the time that we were friends, we did live in different states. I'm in Texas and he's in Missouri, or I'm in Texas and he's in New Orleans. So a lot of times we've already, been in different places. And I felt like, dang, now that we're actually in a relationship, you trying to go somewhere again, like you trying to leave again. But that was me being one in my ego, and that was me trying to control what I wanted him to do. And almost, to be honest, tried to manipulate him into kind of saying, like, well, is it me? Like, you just want to be away from me, blah, 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 blah. But then he started telling me why he wanted to go offshore. And he is a water sign. He loves being on the water. He's actually always told me this. He can swim. I can't. I'm not a water person. And he wanted to travel. And he started giving me all these good reasons of why he wanted to go offshore. Because I love him so much, I seen in his face that it was lighting up. He was starting to, I could tell it was something that he really wanted to do. So I had to say, okay, Zayna, if this is something that he really wants to do, he can go ahead and do it. Like, it shouldn't affect the relationship at all if he is offshore. If y'all got a strong bond, if y'all are really in love, you've known each other basically almost your whole lives, him going offshore shouldn't bother you at all. And actually, when he started telling me the reasons, it didn't bother me anymore. Then I started promoting him to go offshore. One, it's a win-win for both of us. He's offshore, making good money. My bills are paid. Okay. We get to miss each other. We're not crowded, with each other all the time. Again, I'm a type of person, I'm the only child. I love being by myself. Living with somebody is hard, for me sometimes. I'm not going to say it's hard for me all the times, but sometimes it is because I just grew up by myself. I grew up just with me, my mom, and my dad. I'm not used to having a person all the time. So it really kind of does work out good for me. And I started thinking about the benefits of it, and then started thinking about the benefits of both of us. I get to focus on stuff that I want to do without, him always there. And he gets to focus on his own happiness. The happier he is, the more he's going to pour into the relationship. The happier he is, the better he is going to be for me. If I say, no, I don't want you to go, or threaten to break up with him when he leaves, or anything like that, I am now controlling him. I'm controlling what he wants to do. I am controlling the relationship. And what that in turn does is most likely have, if he was, let's say he was like, okay, fine, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay here and stay with you. Resent. Soon resenting the fact that he could have been living his life doing something that he wanted to do, but he didn't do it because of me. And, God forbid, let's knock on wood, the relationship don't work out. Then now he may feel like, damn, I stayed here for her and I could have been offshore. That's one thing you don't want to do. And that's one thing that women feel a lot. A lot of times, if a relationship ends, a woman feels like they are left with nothing. I've devoted all this time, I've devoted all this money, I've devoted all this energy into this person, and they don't give a damn. Okay? Now that the relationship is ended, I have nothing. But that is, hate to say it, your fault. You should not have done that. You should not be investing more into a person than you are yourself. You want your partner to be the happiest they can be. And if them being happy means that they have to shift their focus off of you, that's just what it is. There's a who's that celebrity? Oh gosh, I gotta look up her name right now. Hold on, because this is gonna bother me. I think it's Cheryl Lee Raff. Cheryl Raff Lee. Yep, I was right. Cheryl Lee Raff. She has been married for like 20 something years, and her husband never lived together. But it works for them because she said he has his own career. I have my own career because he's like a senator or governor or something. He has his own fans and people. I have my own fans and people, you know? And basically what she was saying is that we both are married and love each other, but we get to live our own lives being individual people. Not, when I'm with him, I'm not the senator's wife. I don't know if he's a senator, but he's something like that. And when he's with me, he's not Cheryl Lee Ralph's celebrity husband or whatever the case is. They are two individuals living their lives, but still married. They are married. Now, of course, this is not going to work for everybody, but if you ever watch her interview, she is so happy and so full of life, because she has a partner who is supporting her, but not trying to control her. And she is supporting her partner, but not trying to control him. When you love somebody, you want them to be the best that they can be, okay? Because the better they are, the more in love with them, their selves they're going to be, and the more love that they can pour into you. You cannot love someone without loving yourself, okay? A lot of times we depend on a person to make us happy, and that is just unrealistic, okay? A person cannot make you happy. Temporarily, they can, but you don't want to be one of those people where you're as happy as your relationship is, okay? So when your relationship is not good, you're not good. You know, when your relationship is good, you're good. That's not how you want to be. You want to be as happy as you make yourself. And that is really all decentering is. You are going to try to be your best self. And in terms with you being your best self, you're going to be best for your partner. Okay? Better outlook, feel better, you know, act better. You're pursuing goals. And a lot of times, guys, when you start thinking about decentering, it can get a little scary. You know, it looks scary because a lot of people get scared of what they think might happen. Okay, well, if I start decentering, we may break up. Maybe I might move so fast, I'm leaving this person. I'm pursuing my goals and they're just not. Guess what, babe? That's the name of the game. Why do you want somebody with you that can't keep up? Why do you want somebody with you that's going to drag you down, who may manipulate you, who may, you know, turn against you, who may gaslight you, who may be jealous of you? Why do you want that? You know, a lot of times we do things because we're scared of the outcome, because this feels good. I like this relationship right now. I mean, Zayna, you right with what you're saying. I mean, yeah, that's true, but I'm just not ready to face the music. And all that's going to happen is you're going to face that music sooner or damn later. It's either going to be today, tomorrow, next year, next month. You're going to face that music. Okay? When you're decentering, you're basically showing someone, I am the prize. I am first. Then, after I have filled up my cup, after my cup is full, and there's a Bible verse about this. I'm going to try to find this too while I'm talking. But there's a Bible verse about this, which is basically talking about once you fill up your cup, then you can pour into others. Then you can. Then you can. If your cup is half full, you're half happy, you're a little bit happy, how the hell do you think you gonna pour into that other person? How do you think you're going to make someone happy and you're not even happy, bruh? You can't do it. It's literally not possible. You have to be 100% good. You have to be 100% confident. You have to be 100% happy before you pour into that person, because then you will feel appreciated. You will feel valued. You will feel all of these things. You know, a lot of times, you know, this is another thing that happens, you know, about men doing stuff on their own time. I know us as women, we be like, we like stuff done right now. Okay. Ooh, and my partner, ooh, he gonna listen to this and he probably gonna get mad. But I don't even care, because I already told him to this to his face. I can't stand when I ask this man to do something and he don't do it right then and there. Oh my God, it literally makes me mad. Babe, can you clean out the garage? Yeah, sure. That man is gonna clean out the garage when he feel like cleaning the garage. Babe, can you move this stuff into the garage? Babe, can you go ahead and clean you know, the siding in the backyard? Babe, can you go ahead and put the dishes up? It's all gonna happen on his own time. And I know I'm not the only one. Again, that is just how men move. They're not command like us. We are very command like. And what that means is that the minute they tell us to do something, we doing it right then and there. Babe, I need you to do this. Bam, we already looking it up. Babe, I need this done. Okay, we already on it. And because we're like that, we're expecting them to be like that. But notice they never told you when they wanted it to be done. They never said, babe, do it right now. They just asked you, can you do it? But what do? We up and run and do it immediately. We're on it because we're trying so hard to, be everything they want us to be. When men, when we ask them to do something, their minds don't think like that. They're like, oh, she asked me to do it, but she didn't give me a time frame, so I guess I can do it whenever I want. That is just how different we are. And when you are constantly that, I'm going to do everything that he wants me to do when he wants me to do it, or faster than that, when you start to ask them stuff and they don't do it the way you want them to do it, you start feeling unappreciated. And this happens a lot. You start feeling undervalued. Well, I'm up here cooking and cleaning, and I ask you to do one thing, and you can't even do it. Well, why are you doing all that, lady? Why are you doing all of that? Stop. Because guess what? If you start focusing on yourself and stop doing things in order to please the man, or always be the one who's catering or serving, then you will feel a lot lighter. You will feel good. You can start doing things on your own time. And I'm really bad with that. Like, I'm so bad with, doing things, jumping. If you say jump, I'm gonna be like, how high? I'm very bad with that. So I even have to get out of that. Okay, Zayna, let's let this man be a man. Let him figure it out. Sometimes he don't even ask me. I ain't even gonna lie. I just be jumping to stuff. He may tell me a situation, and I'm over here researching on how to fix it, because that's what we are. We're fixers. We try to fix everything. Ooh, he's not feeling good. He's in a bad mood. Let me fix it. Oh, he's sad. He's depressed. Let me fix it. Oh, he ain't got this. He ain't got that. Let me look it up. Let me fix it. And all you're doing is putting all your energy into fixing and centering and almost obsessing over how to get this done, instead of just letting them do them. Let them figure it out. You are there for support. You're not there to take over. You don't got to take over everything. You don't got to do everything. It's literally not healthy. And then when you're over here doing everything, jumping, how high, and then they don't do it for you, now you feel some type of way. Now you feel unappreciated. Now you feel like you're not valued. Now you feel like this. And the reason why you feel like that is because you're overexerting yourself, and you're thinking that because I'm exerting myself, they need to do the same thing. They moving how they've always moved. You're moving how you've always moved. And when you're running and jumping and helping and doing all of that, you are now teaching them this is how you are. Now they're going to start expecting that. So what you do is you draw away from that little by little, little by little, little by little. And it is going to be hard. It's even hard for me. I'm just starting to do it. But I do feel like it is helping me. It's helping me be happier. I am getting what I need by not really focusing on him, his problems, what he's going through. I'm letting it be his issues. I'm letting him figure it out within himself. And then I am figuring out my own issues, my own trauma, my own past, my own life, my own path, my own career. I am figuring that out by myself. And in terms, I have a partner who is going to be able to support me along the way. Okay? Support doesn't look like, oh, someone is doing stuff for you all the time. That's not always support. Support is a lot in a lot of different ways. But really, when you're with somebody, they should be there to support you, and they should be along for the ride. All right. In closing, I feel like we've, talked about a lot. And again, I hope that y'all learned a lot. I hope that a lot of women, and then in men, even men, if you censor your woman, hopefully you stop, because again, it's not healthy, and the outcome is going to be better. It's going to be better than, what it looks like right now. But thank you guys for listening. Again, you can follow me on Instagram, Lovely Zay with 2 Y's. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for listening to my rant and my TED Talk. Y'all are amazing. Remember, have a great day. Focus on yourself, not that man. Do the things that make you happy, regardless of the outcome. Because the only outcome you will have is you being the happiest that you've ever been. That's really the only outcome. Everything else, you ain't gonna worry too much about it. Okay? Love you all. Bye.